Hey, hello everyone. Welcome. Lesson number 7. Good morning and good evening. How was assignment number 2? Hopefully, you completed assignment number 2 and submitted it yesterday, or yes, or today, earlier today. It was great and delicious. Okay, wonderful. Delicious. It was difficult. Yeah, assignment 2 was definitely a little bit more difficult than assignment 1. As you can see, slowly, we're gonna get a little more difficult, a little more difficult every time. Um, yeah, yep. Yeah, for some people it could be a little more difficult. Some people it could be a little easier. Great. Okay, well, it was like Ashok making it was difficult, but it was a yep, yeah. Great. Well, today we are so I thought so today's lesson 7, we're at about a halfway, well, a little before halfway of this course already, which wow, I can't believe how quickly time flies. So I thought today we're actually going to pause a little bit and we're going to do some review today. We're going to kind of review all the material we've learned today. I'm gonna test your knowledge a little bit. And I'm also gonna go over assignment 1 solution as well in class today, just so we're all, before we move on to the next topic. So the next topics are gonna be a little more challenging. We're gonna be creating layouts, and it's going to get more challenging from here on. So before we just dive into new stuff, it's always good to kind of take step back sometimes to reflect and review some of the material we've learned to make sure we really understood a lot of those core, because all of the things we're learning are very core foundational things that are very important. And whenever you learn something, the foundations base that are really important. So we want to make sure we do that today. So we're going to be going over some just kind of doing a lot of review today. That's why there was no video to watch before coming to class today. We're just going to do a lot of review today. But before we jump in, we have with us two more LAs, two more learning assistants in our class. And they're going to be hosting breakout rooms at the end of class like we usually do. So I wanted to introduce our two more learning assistants, LAs, to you today. We have Ashley and Twyla joining us today. I didn't tell you this ahead of time, but our learning assistants, if you can, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself real quick. If you can turn on your camera just for a couple of seconds, just introduce yourself. Let us know your name and what major you're currently studying at USC, and maybe what year you are, and maybe like a fun fact or something about yourself. Um, yeah, so let's start with you, Ashley. Would you mind giving a quick introduction of yourself?
I, oh, sorry, I'm like sick right now, so my voice is
Oh,
gone.
okay,
My name's Ashley, and I'm a third year at USC, and I'm studying economics and data science and minoring in web development. And a fun fact about me would be that I played tennis in high school, so I like to play tennis.
awesome, great. Thank you, Ashley. Twyla, can you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Twyla, and currently I'm a junior at USC, and I'm also studying economics and data science. Um, and hi, and a fun fact is I'm doing like archery club in USC. Yeah, and it's really fun. Yeah, that's all.
Very cool. Welcome. So we have two more learning assistants. LA is joining us starting today. So we have more help here, and feel free to during breakout room, you can ask them questions. They're here to help you out. Starting, we're gonna have one more LA joining us soon, but then we'll have our full team here. So wonderful. Okay, great. Yeah. And our students here are wonderful. So yeah, wonderful. Great. Okay, let's talk about assignment number one. And then we'll do, yeah, well, let's start there. I'm gonna go ahead and stop my video for our bandwidth purposes. And let me share my screen. And let's talk about assignment number one. Assignment number one. Remember this? This was 2 weeks ago. We worked on assignment number one. The assignment number one is all graded. So after today, at the end of today's class, we will, or I will post all of your feedback so you can see how you did, and hopefully you can learn from it, and then use this, and then any errors you've had, you can fix it, and then for future assignments, hopefully that feedback will help you out. Okay, so actually a lot of people did really well on this assignment. Good job, a lot of people. We had about 47 people complete or at least submit the assignment. So good job for submitting. This is the first assignment that people submitted. So good job for working on this assignment. We had some really, really good ones. It was really fun reading about your hobbies. A lot of people like different TV shows. There were people that also posted about about the city they live in. It was really, really educational as well. So great job, everyone, for completing assignment number one. Let me go. So in coding, there's a lot of ways you can complete an assignment or complete any kind of code. So there's never like one perfect answer. There's some good practices, good recommendations, but even within good practices, good recommendations, there are a lot of different ways you can complete and you can write code. So I'm going to show you the way I kind of worked on this, but this is not the only solution. So, don't fret too much about it. Yeah, okay, great. So let's see, what will be the best way for me to complete this? Maybe I'll put it in here. Okay. Or maybe, you know what, I'm gonna open it. This is a little hard to see. I'm gonna open a new workspace. Yeah, I'll open a new workspace, and let me put this here. I'm gonna do workspace, reviewing assignment one. Okay, let me do a new file. call this. By the way, if you're wondering why we call this index.html, index.html, it's a common file name for like the main page of your website, for like your home page. We call it index.html. That just means like this is the first page. So it just it's how it became a common way to name your files. So just, you know, not it just happens to be that. So that's all. All right, so we want to do our typical doc type HTML stuff, right? Let's do that. Head, right? Title, body, so on and so forth. Okay, so the assignment, the first thing we want to, before I just dive into the assignment here, let's kind of take a look at this. Let's think about how we want to structure this piece of code. So we have like a piece of text up at the very top. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And then we have like these two boxes. We have like a box here, kind of like with like, there's like a small, like there's like a border around it. We have another box here. We have like, and then we have another box here at the very bottom for like a little footer. So it's, and in our requirements, it tells us, you know, start by creating a header, an H1, create 2 sections, and we're going to be using section tags. So anytime you see kind of a box or a section tag is going to be useful. So let's kind of do that. So start by creating a header at the top. I'm going to be creating a header. By the way, if you want to follow along, you can, or if you want to just kind of watch, that's okay too. If you want to pull up your assignment number 1 and kind of compare what you did for your assignment number 1, and you want to compare how you did it, that's great too. You don't have to follow every single line along this time since you already completed the code here. All right, so I'm gonna have a header, and I'm probably gonna have like an H1 here that says like Avatar, you know, The Last Airbender. By the way, this did anybody happen to watch this show? I don't know if this is a show came out a long time ago in the United States, but I don't know if it reached Afghanistan. But I'm gonna ask in the chat. All right, and then I'm gonna create 2. So this is a section, this is gonna be a section. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a section here, and then I'm gonna have another section here, 2 sections, and then I'm gonna have like a footer at the bottom, right? Footer. So before like I fill all the details in, I like to kind of like, you know, add some structure in my code. Like this is what I'm going to be adding eventually. I'm going to have like a about here. So I'm going to have like a H2 here about Avatar. And then I'm going to have another H2 in this section that says why I like Avatar. So this is not required, but usually what I also like to do is, because I'm going to have a lot of these sections, I sometimes like to give them an ID. Again, this was not required in the assignment, but something like this, just to identify like, okay, this section is going to talk about, and the about, this is going to be why. Again, not required, but I like to do that just so, and in this assignment, I don't actually need to use it, but in a lot of other cases, you end up needing to do specific things for the about sections and do specific things for the why section and so on and so forth. So we like to do IDs, but again, in this assignment, you don't have to, but I'm just putting that in there. Assignment 1 shows up here. Okay. Any questions? So, oh, dang, we got a lot of stuff in the chat. Oh, okay, a lot of people watch the show. Oh, it's your favorite, Masuma's favorite. Great. Really like it. Okay, great. A few years ago, yeah. Water, fire, yep. All Oh, great. Okay. Yeah, this came out a long time ago, and I watched it when I was I want to say high school, or maybe even college. But it was very good show. It was like a good show for adults too. So like even though it's supposed to be a kids show, like it was a very good show for adults. And uh, yeah, I could still watch it today probably. Yeah, right. I noticed that when I was looking at how everybody completed the code here, I noticed that a lot of you were not indenting. A lot of you kind of like stopped indenting at one point. We didn't dock any points for this time, but it is actually very important for us to indent like this. Don't forget to indent. Anytime you put a tag inside of another tag, you want to indent, right? Add indentation like this. And that's because it makes it very nice and easy for us to read our code. Very nice and easy for us to read our code when we indent. What could be helpful is if you add in this gear icon, if you check this detect indentation here. So if I turn it off, oh, okay. And then also maybe those different one. Indent guides, here we go. So if I turn it off, you don't see it. If I turn it on, this indent guides, it's very helpful for us to see, okay, my head starts here, my head tag ends here, body tag starts here, body tag starts here. So you really want to get into a good habit of indenting. So let me put that in the chat as well, recap as okay. All right, let's continue here. Okay, so I got section here, I got a section here, I got the footer at the bottom. Great. Okay, so the first section is gonna have a secondary heading tag. That's our H2. H2, very good. Usually in a website, you have one H1 tag, and then for all the other, because you have like one main title, and then for all the other subheadings, we like to use like our H2 tag, so on and so forth. All right, we're gonna need like an image, and then now we can start filling in the details here. Let's fill in the details here. We're gonna want to add an image in this section here. So let's do IMG. Anybody want to remind me what are the attributes we use in the image tag? Can you tell me in the chat? What are the attributes we use in the IMG tag? Okay, great. Also gonna say art out SRC. Perfect. Right away. Good job. Awesome. All right. Yes, the main one is source. This is where we're gonna get our image. I'm gonna have to go get an image now. We talked about, so doing some review here, we talked about how we can get images in two different ways. The first one is you can, if you have a link, if it exists already in the internet, we can grab it. The second way is you can also save a file as well. Let's get let's see which one's, ooh, I like this, kind of like this one. Nice. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and do copy image address for now. And then I'm going to throw it in here. Oops. Nice. Okay. And then my alt is for description. Avatar crew. I'm just going to say that. Okay. Sokka, Aang, and oh my gosh, what was her name again? Katara. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. And then what else it says? It says get some two paragraphs about the topic. So I'm just gonna go to Wikipedia and let's get some text in here. And let's kind of that. And then I would do like a paragraph tag like this, and another paragraph tag like this, just to get a really quick paragraphs here. Right, everybody. Oh, nice job, Nina. Yeah, nice job. Okay, and notice again right away, like I'm even right now, there's a lot of code in here. There's a lot of text that my code is getting longer and longer and longer. And that is why, again, these indentation is so nice to have. So if I didn't indent this, if I like had all this kind of like this right now, it's kind of hard to see, okay, what's my code doing? So if I press tab to indent, if I press tab to indent like this, I know like, oh, here's my, like, it's a little bit easier to see. Oh, this is where my about section is. And all this whole thing is my about section. Oh, and then my about section ends here. So it makes it very clear, like about section starts here, about section ends here. And then my Y section ends here, so on and so forth. Again, so indentation, very, very important. Yeah. And also, I noticed a lot of people forgot the alt attribute. Don't forget the alt attribute. Alt attribute is important for the description of the image. Very important when your image is not loading, and also very important when for people that cannot visually see your website, they're able to use a screen reader to like read it for you. So very important. Great. Put that in the chat. Okay, and then so far right now I haven't written any CSS yet. I only so far did the I only so far wrote HTML so far, because we're gonna do the structure first. All right, and then that's my first section tag. The second section tag must have a heading. We got that, and then a bullet point list. All right, how do I create a bullet point list? How do I create a bullet point list? Nice. Yes, Rokia is correct. And Masuma, yes. Wonderful. Shugofa, nice. Yes, everybody's getting it right. Yep, Mina. Yep, awesome. Yep, UL and LI. UL is going to be our parent. Remember, for bulleted list, we need two tags, UL and then LI. And again, we need to indent. Don't forget to indent like this, indentation like this. And here's my LI right over here. We're going to type in why I like Avatar. Let's see, what did I put here? Why do I like Avatar? Oh, okay. Yeah, the characters are funny and relatable. Great story, let's say, and then maybe another one like great animation. Simple like that. Yeah, awesome. Good job, everyone. Yeah, it's fine if your laptop's not working today. Actually, we're just gonna do a lot of review, and I'm gonna be asking you a lot of questions on the chat. So you can answer on me on the chat. That's fine. So on your phone, you can just answer me on the chat and kind of watch as we go. All right, I think that's, let's see, is that it for us? Is that it for the structure? Oh, at the very bottom, we want to add like a little, like a footer at the bottom, maybe like add a little, maybe add a paragraph here, made by Nayeon Kim or something. It's always nice to kind of, give yourself a little credit for what you've done. And yeah, cool. That's it for the structure here. Again, don't forget to indent. Indentation is really important. Don't forget to indent your code. Any questions about this so far? And I think for actually an assignment one, a lot of you did this part really well. No problems here, but any questions so far? Now we need to write some CSS. And in assignment one, we didn't talk about external style sheets yet. So we put all the CSS in the internal style sheet here, like in the style tag, in this style tag here. All right, CSS. Let's add a background color to the browser. All right. Does anybody remember, how do we add things to the browser? How do we do anything to the browser? What's the tag we need to select in CSS to change its background color? Yeah, awesome. A lot of people got that right. So even for your assignment number 2, I think people have some questions about it. For your assignment number 2, that background image you wanted to put on the browser, that's also going to be the body tag. Yep. So anytime you hear, okay, change something on the browser, it's going to be the body tag. The HTML tag actually works as well, but we don't really like to mess with the HTML tag because that's kind of the parent of all of our, it's our greatest ancestor. So we don't like to really touch the HTML tag too much unless there's something very specific we want to do. We always want to touch the body tag if we want to change the browser around. So body, let's do body tag. Let's do background color. I think I just use like sky blue or something. There we go. Now our whole browser is sky blue. Yeah, we got some good questions in the chat. Shakiba asks, what is the difference between width, height, and margins? I'll show you that in just a little bit. When we start styling the section, when we write CSS for the section, we will go over the difference between width, height, and margin again. Oh, and then yeah, Masoma has a great question too about centering the list items. Yes, centering list items is tricky. actually in HTML, centering anything is actually very tricky. So we gotta go over that. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We have a question in the chat also about how do we copy long image address? Maybe I might be understanding wrong, but for images, I typically right click and then copy image address, just like this. And then even if it's long, it should be fine. And then I paste it in here and do Control V to paste it in like this. Okay, alrighty, let us continue here. So we have the background color change, that's good. And then we want to do the color, change the color of the text in the header and the H1 here. We could do H1 like this, and then do color. What I do here? Oh, I didn't. Okay, color blue maybe. Okay, all right. And remember last week we also talked about combinators. Technically, I could even have done it like this. Header H1. Remember this space? This we can combine different selectors together like this. And what all that means is select the H1 tag that is a child of my header tag, which is this one right here. Sometimes writing it like this is useful if you happen to have multiple H1 tags in this page. So then this allows you to select just the H1 inside my header tag. So this is like a nice, a slightly different way you could write it. You don't have to have this, but it also works like this as well. Great, let's continue. Let's horizontally center the title text in the header. All right, same thing. So because H1, remember we also talked about this. H1 is what we call a block element. It has a display block, so it takes up the whole space. I can do text align center, and what text align center does, and text align center, if we might have noticed, doesn't work for everything. Text align center, what it does is it aligns items inside a block element. Okay. So text align center aligns things that are inside an element. So like so my H1 text, the text is inside my H1 tag. So that is aligns a text inside my H1 tag is what it's doing. Okay, let's keep going. Add a background color to both section tags. Okay, so in this case, I want both of my section tags. Both of my section tags have a different background color. So we're gonna do background color white. And now we have, cool, now we have both of our section tags with the background color white. All right, now let's talk about spacing. We had a question in the chat about, Shakib had a question about, what about like the difference between width, height and margins and all that? Oh, okay. We got a question. Great question, Tahara. How can we know our sections are inline or block? Yeah. One quick way you can see it is any element, anything that creates like a line break, like a paragraph tag, or like even this H2 tag, it creates a line break. Like it goes, avatar creates a line break. That is a block element. So let me put that in the chat here. Any elements that creates the chat there. Very important concept, inline versus block elements. And let's talk about our section now here. So also block elements, section is a block element, header is a block element. By default, they have a real look, take a look at their width. Their width goes from edge to edge. They go pretty much from edge to edge. That's normal of a block element like section. And even if I change the size of the browser here, it goes from edge to edge. It goes all the way across from one end to the other. That is very typical of a block element. Same thing with this section, same thing with this footer here, same thing with the H1 tag. You can't see it, but if I gave my background, my H1 tag, a background color of like yellow or something, you can see the H1 tag goes from edge to edge. So by default, block elements, they have all this a ton of widths. The width is as large as you want it to be. However, we can change that. We can add a width to our section, and we could pick a width. Let me see, did I specify a width here? Oh, I didn't specify a width in this assignment. Okay, well, I'm gonna add a width just because I can see it better. I'm gonna say 800 pixels. Maybe even smaller, maybe like 600 pixels. Maybe 7. Okay. Right. And notice that my section, so my width did get smaller, but my image is still way too big. That's just normal. Images by default, they're just, the width is just gonna be as big as the original size of the image. We can always change it, don't worry about it. But right now, yeah, that looks really big. But my sections are now a nice width of 700 pixels. So width simply changes it. We're just changing the width, as you can see. Height, let's talk about height. I actually don't recommend that we don't modify the height too much, because by default, height is going to be always as tall, especially in block elements, it's going to be as tall as the content. So let me put that in the comments here. Height, by default, the height of a block of an element is going to be however much content there is. So it is not recommended to adjust the height usually, or else the content is going to get cut off. Okay, so for example, let's say I do a height, I don't know, like 100 pixels or something. So if I don't know, like weird things are gonna, look at this, why, a lot of weird things is gonna happen now because I made my height too small. So a lot of like weird things are they're all gonna like kind of clash together. So I generally don't put heights unless I know that I need a very specific things, I put heights. But in general, we don't put heights. So I'm gonna go ahead and comment that height out. Alrighty, I want to fix this image real quick. Let's change the size of my image real quick. I'm gonna change it to also with 700 pixel to fit there you go, to fit my section here, to make it be the same width as my section. We started talking about percentages a little bit. I also did with 100%. You can use percentages for widths as well. If you what's nice about percentages, if I change my section width from 700 to like 900, let's say, notice the image just kind of follows the size of whatever the parent is. So when we use width percentages, and it's okay if you didn't do this in assignment 1, but I'm just kind of going over some percentage stuff. So how percentages work is it's the percentage of its parent. So image is a child of this section, and my section has a width 800 pixels. So my image is going to be 100% width is going to be images 100% of 800 pixels. So let me put that in the comment as well. Percentage is the percentage there we go. Or let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's make it 700 here. And if you have any questions while I'm doing this, please type in the chat. I'm looking at the chat and trying to make sure I'm addressing all of our questions in here. Zara had a question about the color didn't change no matter what happened. When things like that happen, it's probably because there's a small typo somewhere. It's very common. If I put a little typo, I forgot the letter R, the color will not change, for example. So typically when something is really not working, double check your make sure you didn't make any small mistake. Any little tiny mistake can make it not work. Don't forget, you also have this inspect element. I know I showed it to you all like really briefly, but this inspect element is also very, very useful when you right click and click on inspect, this inspect here. It's going to pop up this window here and you can kind of see like what's going on. Here's my, here's my about section. Here's my about section. This is my IMG. This is my, and then you can kind of see like, okay, my section here has a background color white that's working. Oh, the height is X'd out here because I commented it out. Here's my H2 tag, like, so this inspect element is really useful to help. Also, a lot of people ask great questions in our discussion. We had some very, very great questions in discussion. Great job for asking question. If you have question, please, especially when you're working on your assignment, please ask your question. And you know what? You can also, when you're asking the question, you can also, describe the question here. My question is, my question is blah, blah, blah. And then if you would like, you can also share a link of your workspace like this, and you can paste it in here. And that makes it easier for us to help you with your code as well. You can always click on share and you can invite users, or you can just click allow public access and we can help you. If you can show us your code, we can help you like that as well. So especially when you're working on assignments and you're using a workspace to work on the assignment, post the link to your workspace and we can try to we have 5 learning assistants to help you in this class. So we can all help it's a lot easier sometimes to look at your code. So you feel free to just post your code in here. Cat. I put in the chat. If you have questions about the assignment while working on the assignment, post your workspace link in a discussion and we can help you that way too. I'm gonna close that. Rokia had a question about width and percentage one more time. Sure, yeah, let's talk about percentages real quick. Percentage is new. I introduced you to percentage on Thursday, I think. So percentage is still a new thing. If you didn't use percentage in assignment 1, totally okay. So for percentages, how it works is it's all about, remember, parent-child relationships. Whenever I have a tag inside of another tag, you created a parent-child relationship. My image is a child of section. H2 is also a child of section. Paragraph tag here, also a child of my section. So when I use percentages, we are using percentage of the parent. So right now my image has a width of 100%, and it is a percentage. What's the percentage of? It is of the parent, which is a section. So my section has a width of 700 pixels. That's why my image width is also going to be 100% of 700 pixels. Now, if I had put 50%, if I do 50% here, it's going to be half of the section, the parent, which is going to be half of 700 pixels. So the width of this image, actually you can see it in the inspect here, the width of this image is going to be, there we go, 350 pixels, because it's half of 700. 350 is half of 700. So it's, go. Does that answer your question? Okay, how can we link a photo? Ooh, great question. And can anyone answer Arafa's question about how to link a photo? How do we link to begin with? How do we, what's the tag to create a link? Yep, Tyra got it right. Yep, my image tag. Yep, Shigofa. Great. Yep, also A. Yeah, great. So to link anything, we use the A tag, right? The anchor tag. So we can do that here. We could put an anchor tag right around my image, just like that. And don't forget to indent. Don't forget to indent. And then here we're going to do href. And then we can put the, I don't know what, like link there. Like that. Yep. Good job. Yeah, nice. Great answer. Yeah. Yeah, Shugofa, Adila, awesome. Shireen, yep. Great. And just like that, now if I click on this, it's going to take us to the website. Great. Yep. So just like you can use anchor link to add links, you can use anchor links to create links to images. Yeah, great. Wow. Yeah, everyone's got it. So good. Awesome. Great job, everyone. Let's finish this up. So we want to add some spacing. Okay, so remember there are two properties that we can add spacing. There are two properties allow us to add spacing. What are they? Two CSS properties. Nice. Wow, everyone's so good already. That's great. I'm glad to hear everyone's like just on, we all know our basics. That's great. Yep. So there's margin and padding. Now we want to create, now when things are, the text is way too close right now, the text is way too close to the edge. So if whenever I want to create spacing inside an element, I'm going to use padding. And we've talked about like padding left, 10 pixel, padding right, 10 pixel. Now we got some padding. We could do padding top, 10 pixel, padding bottom, 10 pixel. Wonderful. Let's add some margin as well. Margin bottom, maybe like 10 pixel to add some space between the margin top, 10 pixel. That's some, yeah. Okay, awesome. And by the way, if you want all four sides to be the same, have the same spacing, you could just do padding 10 pixels and it's going to make all four sides have that same padding. So I'm going to put this in the comment. This is short way to make all sides have the same padding. And then we've talked about this before as well, but again, today's review day. Notice I put padding 10 pixel everywhere, but like, like there's some space here. This space is 10 pixel, but this top space here is like, that's like more than 10 pixels. This is a very big gap here, right? There's a big space on the top, but like I put padding top 10 pixel. So why is that, like, why is there such a big gap up here? Right? You might wonder, like, why is that? And this is very common in CSS. There's a lot of times where there's some default spacing or some default line breaks or something like that. And the reason and a good way to find out what's happening is using this inspect tool. And you can kind of look at this H2 here. Take a look at my H2 here. My H2 tag, notice the orange, like the orange stuff that you see? H2 tag, and you can see it on here too. It comes with some margin on the top and bottom by default. That's why there's such a big gap here. So my section has like my padding, it has padding 10 pixel. My section has that the green color is padding. And then my H2 has all this like orange space. Okay, it also has all this margin as well. That is why it looks like there's so much more spacing here. So we can get rid of that. We can actually say, you know what, my H2, hey, H2, you're kind of annoying right now. I'm going to get rid of your margin top 0. It's just going to be 0 now, just a 0. And then there you go. That spacing is gone. Now the padding is even. It's 10 pixel on top, 10 pixel on the bottom here. Yeah. All right, cool. We can I see some questions in the chat. I'll get to it in just a second. Let me just finish this off. Let's do border. So remember border, we did border color, like black, border style, we could do solid, and there's border width. We can do like 3 pixels or something like that. There you go. We got a nice big border around here. Here's a short way to write border as well. I'm going to show you a lot of tricks today. Shorthand way to write border. We're gonna do border just like this, 3 pixel solid black, all in one line. If you just write it in one row, it's the same as writing it in 3 different properties. So showing you some little tricks today. All right, let's answer some questions. So what is the difference between fig caption and alt? Yeah, so if you did the free code camp, if you did the labs, you might have seen fig caption. Yeah, you probably saw like a fig, it was like fig caption, and then like there was like a figure, we did figure, and then like something like this in your free code camp lab. Yeah, it's just another way to write images. Fig caption, it actually displays the fig caption actually shows up on the right over here. It actually it's a I cannot speak today. It is a caption. It's some text. It's a description of the image that actually shows up here. That's fig caption. Whereas alt, this alt attribute, it doesn't actually, you can't visually see it. It's useful for screen readers, or if my image was broken, then it shows up here, the alt attribute. So alt attribute is not meant to be like displayed to people, but fig caption is. Yep, great question, Shugofa. And then we have another question from Tina. How do we how do we justify paragraphs? Like how do we do that? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good question. I think sometimes this is a great time. So I actually don't remember exactly. This is a great time to use Google. Google is your best friend in web development. Even at I've been working in web development for over 10 years now, and I still Google all the time. So CSS justify content. Perfect. Let's look at our no, I don't want to do that. Let's do paragraph. Justify paragraph. Okay, there is a property. I didn't even know this. There is a property called text align justify. Cool. And it's gonna do text align justify. Oh, okay, yeah. So this text align justify will work. What is text justify interword though? All right, let's try that. Text align justify, text align, where did my workspace go? Let's try in my paragraph tags, let's do text align justify. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. I don't know what this is doing though. I don't know what text justify. What is text justify? Okay, text justify property, justification method text when the text line is set to justify. Oh, these are the different property values. Interword decreases the space between words versus character. Okay. So it tells you like how to text justify, where to justify it. So text justify interword. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, sometimes these are great questions. Sometimes if you're like, oh, how do I, in CSS, how can I, add a background image, right? Or how can I do justify? I make a paragraph justify. Google is your best friend. Going to google.com and search how CSS, background image or whatever it is that you want to look for. Look it up. W3 Schools is a very great resource because it tells you right away. You can kind of see example right away. I used W3 Schools when I was a student. MDN is also a great resource as well. MDN also gives you a lot of examples, and MDN is kind of like a textbook. It gives you a lot of explanation. So that's why another reason why I love MDN. With W3 Schools, MDN, you're in good hands. Okay, let's finish this up. I gotta do one last thing here. I want to center the entire both my sections. Let's go and center horizontally. And I want to tell you again that centering things in web development, centering things is one of the hardest things to do. Even today, it got a lot easier. But this is truth here. So what I always get all the time, the most commonly asked question is how to center, how to horizontally center, how to vertically center. It is not easy a lot of times. I will show you some tricks. Sometimes it's very hard to do so. Other times it's a little bit easier. Let's talk about horizontal centering. Whenever you want to horizontally center a block element, like section tag or H1 tag, like a whole tag, like a whole section, the whole thing, that's when you want to use margin left auto. Oh shoot, what was that? Okay, margin right auto. Okay, great. Whenever you're centering like a big block item, like a section tag, header tag, H1 tag, like the whole thing, not just the text or image inside, but the whole thing, you want to use margin left, margin right auto. There we go. That's looking good. Now, whenever you want to center things inside an item like text or images, that's when text align comes in handy, text align center, right? So these two, usually one of these two is usually going to work. Whenever you want to align again text or images, you want to typically use text align center, but you want to put it on the thing, on the element that's the parent of that image or text. And then if you want to center like a div or a section tag, you want to use margin left, margin right auto. I think that about pretty much completes the assignment one. Any other questions about assignment one? Oh, I guess they didn't add a footer, but it's the footer. But any questions? And in this case, the footer also does text align center, because footer why is my footer not text align center? Wait. I just need to refresh this. I need to refresh this. Okay. How do you bring the picture in the center? Yeah, good question. So in this case, because the center is let's figure a block element. Let me see. Okay, So in this case, in this specific case, because I use figure, the figure is a parent of image right now. The figure is the parent of image, and figure is a block element. I could do figure. I think I can do figure text align center. Yeah, I could do that. If I didn't have a figure, it could even be a div, like a generic div as works as well. Yeah, either one works. But because an image is an inline element that you want to make the parent, if you give it the parent of the image text align center, it will center the image. So margin auto, yes, should go for your right. If you want to do margin auto on the image, you gotta do display block. Yeah, because by the margin auto only works with block elements. A little confusing, right? Happy to explain more in the future. Yeah, block versus inline elements, fun stuff. That's why actually in this assignment, I purposely made the image like really wide edge to edge because I didn't want you guys to struggle with centering too much, at least in the beginning. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was assignment 1. Hopefully you have fun with that one. Assignment, I'm really looking forward to seeing your assignment number 2 submission. Hopefully everybody got that. And if you haven't quite gotten it in, please do it today or tomorrow at the latest, because I will get assignment number 2 is also very important. So yeah. Oh yes, great question, Rokia. Rokia asked about, yes. Okay. Yeah, about the width issue. It says that yeah, it's this one. So this was a little bit of my fault. I think we didn't go over this part. So the width is 60%, but never bigger than 600 pixels. So if you didn't quite get this, it's okay. As long as it's 60%, that is fine. How we do this actually is, how to do this is there's a property called max width is a prop. You can do, I'm gonna put in the chat. Let me put in the chat. Yeah, assignment number 2. If you're still having problems, you want us to work on it, I can give you a little more time to work on it. I think what will be really helpful for assignment 2, if you're struggling, is the lesson code that I shared with you all. Let me open up lesson 2. Lesson, or not lesson 2, which was a lesson that we talked about, I think lesson number 6. Yeah, lesson number 6. I posted the code that we talked about in lesson number 6. This is the workspace here. Looking at this code, I think will be very helpful because a lot of the, like the form especially, all this is the code that we went over in class in lesson 6. This is actually very similar looking to assignment number 2. Assignment number 2. So take a, if you need to review lesson number 6 code, please do. If you have questions about it, please post, especially make sure you're understanding what each line of code is doing. And please post in Edstem if you have any questions, post links to your workspace. We can help you out. Click on share, click allow public access, and we can look at your code and try to help you there as well. Yeah, so let me put that in the chat if you are still struggling with assignment 2. You can still work on it. Refer to lesson 6 code. I'll put in the chat lesson 6 code because it's very similar to lesson 2. Please post the workspace link on Edstem discussion or WhatsApp. Yeah, value. Okay, yeah, value is interesting one. Value, yes, it's we don't use it at this moment, but value is actually very important. Value is for yeah, value, so like, oh, I guess we didn't really do it here, but value is like where's my green tea here? Okay, so these for my radio buttons. So like the computer knows that this is green tea, or we know that this radio button is green tea, but the computer doesn't know that. So we put value in here, green tea, like that. Value equals green tea. And this just tells the computer that that radio button that we choose, the value of that is green tea. Yeah. I guess I didn't go over that in class. That's bad on me, but yeah. Also, what is nice about if you do complete assignment number 2, it is actually very similar to the survey form in Free Code Camp. It's very similar requirements. You can paste that in here and submit it to Free Code Camp. And what happens is it's the survey code is one of the certification projects. And if you submit all of the certification projects, you can also get a certificate from Free Code Camp. And you can get like your own certification, which is nice. It's not gonna get you a job right away or anything like that, but it's kind of nice to have a certification from another organization as well. So I kind of tied those together on purpose. Oh, great. Yeah. Cool. All right, I want to do some review with you all in the next let's see how fast we go through these. And again, so now that we are about at the halfway point, I just want to make sure we are understanding all the foundations pretty well. So I have some questions for you here, and let's try some of these together. This is on lesson 7. You're welcome to you're welcome to submit them, or we can just answer these together here. Let me ask the first question. Question number 1, this is true or false. HTML structure in a web page, HTML creates structure in a web page, and CSS defines the look and feel. True or false? T, yeah, T for short. Good. Yes. Submit this. Awesome. I think that one was, yes, that's pretty obvious. Cool. All right, good job. Okay, let's see. Heading tags like H1 and H2 by default are bolded and have spacing on the bottom. True or false? I love the shorthand. Yep, TF. Yep. Yeah, too lazy to type false. I just want to put F. I like it. Oh, this one has both answers, true and false. Okay. Interesting. Good. I like controversial stuff. Okay. The answer is it is true. Yeah. I'm curious though, why people think it is false. Maybe there's a good maybe there's a good I don't know, maybe there is something I didn't think about. All right, let's continue. All right, this is another true and false. In HTML. Oh, okay. Yeah. So sorry, let's go back to question 1. So yeah, heading tags like H1, H2, like is our H1, for example, by default, it's bolded, it's that thick font, and it also has a spacing here and here on the top. So some tags have it comes with default properties. H1, H2 are one of them. They come with thick, they're bolded, and they come with some space. All right, question number 3, true or false? In HTML, all tags must have a corresponding closing tag. True or false? Okay, all tags must have a closing tag. All right. Looks like most people put false. Let's try submitting the answer. Yep. Yeah, good. Yep, Mersault's correct. Yep. There are tags that don't have a closing tag, like an image tag. Yep. Yep, like input tags as well. Rokia's correct. Wow. Everyone is so good right now. Wow, everyone's really following along in class. Awesome. Okay, now this is not a true or false question. You can just tell me this. We can say A, B, C, D, or 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell me 1, 2, or 3, or 4. Let's put in the chat. This will be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Or A, yeah. I mean, I don't know. A, B, C, D. I don't know. Invalid way. Okay, a lot of people put 1, so I'm gonna click on 1. Let's submit this answer. Okay, Roque says it's because of a link. Awesome. Great. Most people got this right. Actually, the reason that this, so it can be a link. You can do links. Also, but you definitely need some kind of extension like JPG or GIF or etc. And then also the link is missing this HTTP. So anytime you put a link, like back in our assignment here, you need, for an image, you need like an HTTP or HTTPS. So that is why. Yeah, great. Okay, so this one, this is a multiple choice. We can have more than one answer here. In this following code, we're gonna select all the HTML tags. Okay, so you can just, to make it easy, you can tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can have more than one answer, more than one answer. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can just tell me which are the HTML tags. HTML tags, keyword here, tag. So remember in HTML, we talked about, we have tags, we have attributes. Which of these are tags? Okay, a lot of people are saying H1. Let's see, people are saying anchor link. All right. People are saying maybe target. Okay. Any other answers? Yeah. Okay, let's try submitting it. And oh, okay, there we go. The answer is H1 and anchor tag. Yep, you're correct. Target, class, any of these things inside a tag are attributes. These are tags. Yep. Okay, then I guess I just kind of went over the answers already. So the attributes here will be href, target, and that's it. Yes. Href is an attribute, target is an attribute, class is actually an attribute as well. I didn't put that there. So anytime you have these greater than less than signs, these are tags, and anything inside these are attributes. Wait. What? These are the correct answers. I think I put the wrong answer, but these two are the correct answers. Great. Okay, which HTML tag is used to create a numbered list? A numbered list. So we have bulleted lists versus numbered lists. Bulleted lists are like the circle dot ones, and then numbered lists are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it looks like everybody's saying OL. Let's try that. Correct. That is correct. Good job. Good job, everyone. We talked about this in class earlier today, but I'm going to ask again because I'm going to ask so many times because this is such an important concept that even people that have a lot of experience, for some reason, they keep forgetting. What CSS property creates spacing inside an element? All right, many of you are answering padding. Maybe it's margin. Just kidding. Yes, padding is correct. Awesome. When creating a form, which attribute specifies this? So we're talking forms. Forms is a new thing we learned last week. So let's kind of review that too. When you create a form, what attribute do you use to define what? Sorry, let me read the question better. When creating a form, which attribute specifies what file to go to when a user submits a form? Well, that's like a kind of a worded question. But yeah, so like, how do you make it? What's the attribute you use to make it go to a specific form? So, you know, back in our, assignment 2 here, when you click submit, you make it go to this confirmation form, right? This final page. How do you do that? We got method, action, type, name. All right, wonderful. Looks like a lot of people said action, and yes, action is correct. Okay, this is a more open-ended question. The more open-ended question. Also related to forms, because we've been talking about forms last week. What's the difference between a radio button versus like a checkbox? So what's the difference between a radio? What's the radio? Radio is those circle buttons. And then a checkbox. Yeah, this one is more open-ended, so feel free to type out your answers. Yeah, we got some good answers here. Radio checkbox, we can have multiple choice. In radio, we can choose radio, one option. Checkbox has multiple. Yeah, looks like everybody got it right. Yep. So where is it? So yeah, radio button, you can only choose one. Like it's good for when you want to allow the user to only choose one option. But sometimes you want them to choose multiple choice, That's for checkbox. Yeah, let's see. Marcel has a question. Let's see if we can answer together. Yeah, this is like yeah, what's your question, Marcel? Wait for a little bit. Okay. Okay, now this is a slightly different question. Ready? So here's some code. Here's some HTML code. It does not have any syntax highlighting. There's no colors on it. So you have to just kind of read this question here, this code here, right? And there's 6 errors. There's 6 mistakes in this code. Let's find all 6 of them. There's 6 of them in here. Believe it or not, there's 6 errors. Okay, please type in the chat. As you find them, just type in the chat. There's 6. You can also refer, these are line numbers. This is line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. So if it's to describe it easier, you can say like, on line number 6, something is missing. And line number 10, something is missing. You can say that too. As a web developer, it's very important that, yes, you write good code, but it's also important that you read good code. You're able to read code. It's kind of like, reading or writing any language. You want to be good at writing. Whenever you're learning a new language, you want to learn how to read the code and write the code, or write the language. Same idea here. Whenever especially when you work on big projects and you work with multiple people together, you want to learn how to read their code as well as write your own code. So let's see. We have, okay, great. Keep on rolling. We got a lot of mistakes that are coming out in the chat. While you're writing all this, I want to remind you that we have these validators online, W3 validator, for example, and you should be using this in your assignment. Whenever you're done writing your assignment, copy all of your assignment, paste it in a validator. Don't forget to paste it in a validator, check your code, and it's going to tell you right away any errors, like, oh, hey, margin bottom doesn't, oh, I made a mistake, on line number, whatever. So, these validators are really nice, and they're there for free for you to use. So even for your assignment too, don't forget to put your code in a validator to check when you're done, to see if there's any like little mistakes you made, and they tell you right away. So, all right, cool. So we got a lot of great, and let's start reading the chat. Okay, yes, number 1, strong is not closed in line 3. Yep, yes, the strong tag is not closed. Nice job, Arefa. All right, number 2 mistake. Let's see. Shugofa says P tag is not closed in line number 9. Yep, P tag is not closed in line 9. Great. Let's see here. Oh yes, a lot of people, and then Tina also said closing tag. Great job. Yes, Rokia, Hakima, Arefa, you're talking about the IDs. Yep, IDs. So this was an interesting one. So we have a line number 1, we have ID heading. And then line number 2, we also have another ID heading. That is bad, yes. In line 1 and line 2, using the same ID heading. Yeah, very good. So remember, for IDs, you can only use that value once, and you can't have 2 tags with the same ID like this. You can have same classes, but not IDs. Great job. Nice job. We got yes, Shugofa, Rokia, Shireen, about the image tag. Yes, the image tag, there's no such thing. There is no such thing as like a closing. This is wrong. There's no closing IMG tag. Very good. Let me see if I can make this bigger. There we go. All right, what else? Let's see what else other people are saying here. We got ID. Okay, nice. Used. Okay, yeah, Mina. Yes, you got it. In line number 7. In line 7, we have a quote here, and then we're missing a quote over here. Wow, it's a very small looking mistake, but there it is. We're missing. Oh, I'm sorry, not there. Right over here, href, right over here. So we have a double quote here. We totally miss a double quote here. Missing closing here. Yeah, this is a very common mistake, by the way. Very easy to forget, and then everything just goes wrong. Yeah, all right. And the very last one, let's see, did people get the very last one? There is one more error here. I do see that somebody mentioned it, but I want to see if anybody else want to mention it, the last one. There is one more error here, the last final error here. If anybody want, please put it in the chat. I see that 2 people got the answer, but I want to make sure, yeah, I want to make sure everybody gets the answer here. P is not closed. We did get P closing tag. Okay. All right. I will reveal the answer. It looks like this is a very like hard, easy to miss answer. Shakiba got it. Shugofa got it. Nice job. Oh, and Rokia got it as well. Good job. Okay, so yes, on line 10, the error is on line 10. Any last guesses? In line 10, it has to do with the image tag. Is missing the, yes, Mina got it too. Great job. It's missing the alt attribute. Yes, it's very easy to miss as well. It is a required attribute. You have to have an alt attribute for images. Yeah. Yes, we got the one image tag on before. Yep. Yep. Great job. Yep, those are the 6 errors. So it's a skill to come up with errors or to figure out what errors there are. So nice job. Yes, alt. Yes, it is. Yep. All right, nice job, everyone. Okay. All right. Couple more questions. Wow, this is great. We're getting a lot of review done. Just making sure everybody is oh, after org is yeah. Okay. This is kind of a, let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay. Okay, let's more practice. There's more practice. It seems like we're not gonna get to breakout rooms today because it's 15 minutes before. It's fine. Let's just do a lot of review today. Let's look at this code. Again, we're practicing reading code again. And last Thursday, we started talking about these like combinators. These are kind of weird things. So I want to remember different ways to select things. Let's do a quick review on this. So this is the code. This is the HTML. This is the CSS right here. This is the only CSS. This is box 1 LI. There's a space here. And it's making a background color yellow. So based on this, which lines here will have a color yellow? Options are McDonald's, Burger King, Olive Garden, Chili's, and TGIF. You can tell me 1, 2 as well. Yeah, it's a little hard. So you could say McDonald's is number 1, Burger King is number 2, Olive Garden is 3, Chili's is 4, TGIF is 5. Which of these, if I do box period, box 1, space LI, background color yellow, which items will have the background color yellow? Number 1, and this is multiple, you can choose more than one. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. This over. Okay. Yep, people are saying number 1, number 2, that is correct. Awesome. So yes, when I put a space, it means look for all the LI elements inside my parent with the period is for class, right? Class box 1. And we got, this one is yellow, Burger King is yellow. Great. Cool. Let's submit it. There we go. Yep, these two. So these wouldn't be affected because these LI items are inside a div called box 2. So only these LI items will have a background color yellow. Any questions about that? Let's move on to the next one. If you have any questions, please type in the chat. I'm happy to explain. Here's another piece of code we started talking about, these like pseudo elements here, pseudo here. In the following code, choose every element that will have a background color blue. So background color blue, LIN's child to background color blue. Okay, remember these, the pseudo, the little colon thing? So which items, again, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which items will have the background color blue? McDonald's, Burger King, Olive Garden, Chili's, TGIF. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which of them will have a background color blue? LI colon and child 2. We'll give you a couple of seconds. Think about it. Okay, a lot of different answers for this one. 5, 3, 4, 5, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, 3, 4, 5. Ooh. Ooh, okay, maybe I'll just choose all of them. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any other answers? It looks like nobody wants McDonald's though. That's interesting here. All right, let's try. Let's go ahead and put our answers in. Okay, that's not the exact answers. Let's look at our explanation here. Okay, the answers are actually going to be Burger King and Chili's, 2 and 4. Okay, and the reason for that, yep, just 2 and 4, yep, is because nth child 2, what is this saying here? It's saying look for LIs. Okay, look for list item tags, LI tags, and it's going to be the second LI tag child. So we have a bunch of LIs here, and child number 2 means the second one. So in this LI, in this group of LI tags, the parent is UL, okay? And it's gonna say grab the second child. The second child, the first child is McDonald's, second child is Burger King. So Burger King is definitely one of them. It's gonna become background color blue. And then here's another group of UL and LI here. There's like another bunch of LIs here. And the second child, the first child is Olive Garden. Second child in this UL list is Chili's. So that's why Burger King and Chili's are the 2 answers here. Any questions? Great exercise there. I think that's the last question I had. Yeah, so today again, we're just doing some review. Did you all find this helpful? Did you find, ask in chat, review session today helpful? Great. Yeah, we only have 8 minutes, so I think we can call it a little early today. On Thursday for lesson number 8, we're going to be on Thursday we're going to learn some new topics. And we're going to learn we're going to have a new assignment and everything. But today we just wanted to kind of pause and do some review today. So for your so to help you do some review, I don't know why I did not put this in here, but there is a lab that I want you to do today. It's going to be a short one. But if you didn't finish assignment number 2, I will give you a little more time. So if you didn't finish assignment 2, get your assignment number 2 done before, okay? So if you still have questions, if you're still struggling, hopefully today maybe answer some questions. But if not, please ask questions in EdStem or ask in WhatsApp, and we can try to help you finish your assignment number 2. And then once you're done with assignment number 2, our next lab, I believe is lab number 4, is going to be back in Free Code Camp. There's this learn basic CSS by building a cafe menu. I want you to do steps number 1 through what was it? 1 through 32, I think. I believe it was 1 through 32. Okay, 1 through 32. I'll post it on our lesson. But this is lab number 4. Lab number 4 is you're going to do some more exercises. You're going to make something like this, and you're going to do steps 1 through I think it was 32. Let me double check, but this one should be a fun one, so you could try this one. This is lab number 4. So do this on your own. But again, if you need to do assignment 2, do that first. Okay, so let me type in the chat. Recap here. If you did not finish assignment 2, please finish it before Thursday. I'll give you a little more time. Ask questions in EdStem discussion or or WhatsApp. If you finished assignment 2, please work on lab number 4, which is free code camp. We got a question from Marva. When I set up my assignment, it shows pencil in the workspace style, but when I want to submit it, it didn't show anything. Let's take a look real quick. We have a little time. Let's see. So this is my assignment number. So in assignment 2, it showed my pencil. What do you mean by the pencil? Do I see a pencil here? Yeah, I'm not sure where I see the pencil. Do you mean, maybe you mean the globe or? So what I would do is for assignment 1, for example, I would have written the code on the side, put it here, and then when I'm done, I can copy all of the code and then go back in here, go back or into, let's go to assignment number 1, for example, paste it into my workspace here, paste or command Control V to paste in here. I would paste everything in here. And then I would click the submit icon right over here, the submit icon. Yeah, so if it's shown in your workspace, you can copy this and then paste it in the assignment like this. Make sure it looks good and then click submit. That's all you need to do, Marva. But if you have any more questions, yeah, so on workspace you can't submit anything, but on the assignment you can, and you got to click submit. Maybe you mean like you need to click on, we're gonna have to click, make sure you click on the enable here as well. Okay. All right, it is the end of class time, so we will need to say goodbye. I will see you all on Thursday. So have a try working on lab number 4, work on assignment 2 if you haven't already. And then there's gonna be a short video for you to watch before lessons 8 on Thursday. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye. The feedback, we're gonna give it to you really soon. Yeah, like today. Bye.